Okay, so now we're live. Hi everyone. I hope you can all hear me. According to my computer, the sound seems to be okay, so welcome back. I am officially back. Been on a holiday and then I did my second vaccine, and that was unexpectedly heavier than I thought it would be. And for the last few days, I basically, how high? Sounds good. I basically just slept it off and, recovered. Been walking around and all that, which is good. But that means until today, I have not done anything remotely creative or anything for more than a week, which is not something that I normally do. So, anyway. If my voice breaks down, I will get some things for my throat. Nothing to worry, it's just normal. There's some black candy. I don't know, do you guys get black candies? And I'll explain what happened to my finger in a minute, but these are the black candy. And if my throat is not happy, then we will do that, okay? So, what's the story with this one? It's a funny story. I'll start off by doing the background and everything. And this is surprisingly, this is a space kind of theme. This is gonna be the moon. This is gonna be the sky with really nice stars and so on. And then the flowers are gonna be in the foreground. It's gonna be nice. And there's fishes in the space. Okay, I know. I'll explain. Don't stress. And this is me, or supposed to be me. And it's interesting how things go, because every time somebody at my previous company would go, I would, well, not everyone, because there's like, I don't know, 1,000 people working. But my friends, right, if they would decide to go to a different company, I would always make them a painting. And by the way, I'm just going to make some colors, and a painting will be something about that person. I'm gonna use dark blue from StreamCam and indigo, and then lots of shadow violet and purple violet, perlin violet, okay, for the sky. And I'm just going to block out the sky because that needs to just dry out and have. But the funny part is now I'm the one leaving, and there's nobody there that is going to make me a painting. So, I'm just gonna make a painting myself about me and about my life there at the company. And I'm just gonna talk a little bit about also this notion of having dreams and following your dreams, and what I call shooting for the moon. And not only, but sometimes people think that you can only have one dream. I dream of becoming a CTO one day, but I also have a dream of becoming a well-known artist. And the question always arises is, what do you do with these dreams? And is it okay to have multiple dreams that are totally in the opposite direction of each other? Like being a CTO of a company is by no means something that is very compatible with being an artist, I would say. Yeah. Not sure, but pretty sure that it's not really compatible with being an artist. So you might wonder what and how, and I'll give you an example of one of my ex-colleagues, which is very funny. By the way, paper. Let's talk paper before we dove into details and so on. This is a hahnemuhle Cezanne. It's a really nice brand of paper. Trust me when I say it's a really nice brand of paper. It's actually even a little bit more expensive than arches, because for almost the same price as you pay for arches, 20 pages, you pay for 10 pages on hahnemuhle. And the funny part is I've been into a art store last week, and I'll post that vlog shortly, somewhere next week. But in the art store, I saw this hahnemuhle paper that was 600 grams, man. 600 grams, can you imagine? And it was so heavy, and everything was like, I wasn't sure. Like when I put it, I thought, oh, there's gonna be a lot of pages, but actually there was only 10 pages, and it looked like a stack of 20 of the 300 grams, 300 GSM, right? So anyway, they have a really nice paper, hahnemuhle, and if you're wondering why I don't use them more and why I use arches, is because I'm a hoarder, and I hoard paper, and this is some of my nice paper, so I keep it for my nice projects. Although, to be fair, I should be using it more because it's really nice. And maybe I'll try to see if I can add some indigo here and there, just to break this color, to make it darker. I'm doing it in phases, okay? This is not gonna let things dry out and then we'll see, you know, for like secondary color what we will do. Okay, so that's the paper. I'm using basically my big set, which is my Daniel Smith set, and I'm just gonna use this one. Alternatively, maybe I'll use some yellows from my other set, but that's it, just for the yellow, just for the nickel azo yellow, I think. But other than that, I'll be using this one. So this is dark blue from Schminke and indigo, and with a little bit of perlin violet here and there, just to add dimension, because this is a kind of a space kind of theme. So it should have some violet as well. Okay, I might need to rotate the paper or not, but you know, let's see. The background is going to take me probably the longest, so that's why we're doing this. Okay, so let's talk about what this piece represents and why is it. I've worked here for a very long time, and I had many colleagues, and some of my colleagues, they were in this job as being software engineers for a very long time. But the funny part is, when you're a software engineer, more often than not, you're very creative. I know it's a bit weird because you think you're like a math guru or something. It's not true. It's mostly it's very creative process, because you have to create something from scratch and you have to talk to people. And I had a lot of colleagues that were doing also other creative things in their lives, right? And I actually had a colleague that was one of the best technologists that I know. He was doing like a lot of the courses and stuff for like really deep architectural and technology role. But on his spare time, he was making pictures, and he was working as a photographer for like fashion magazines and so on, which is like totally different field if you think about it. Like, what? Fashion magazines? Why would that, like, yeah. And he was always saying like, you have to follow your dream. And I said, but isn't your dream to, you know, what's your dream then? Like, what do you call follow your dream? He's like, why, Claudia, do you always think in such binary terms? Why do you always have to have only one dream? I either become that, or I either do that or the other. Why can't you have 2 or 3? Why don't you want more? Why does it always have to be only one or the other? And that kind of reminded me that, you know, it's true. Like, why should I limit myself to only one thing? I mean, some people would say that you need to be very good at what you do, and it requires a lot of time. And, you know, if you're willing to put the time in both adventures, you know, why shouldn't they be possible? And why shouldn't you pursue both of them? What's stopping me? Why do people get to be told, oh, you have to go and quit your job to follow your passion? Like, what if your passion is 2 different things? Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to choose between one or the other? So, you know, this is where we're at. And he continued to hone his craft, and he actually became a CTO, like, which is one of the highest positions that you might want to have in the field of software engineering. But he was also, even to this day, he's still doing his he's doing photo shoots. He's going to Milan, he's going to all these companies, and he's really enjoying himself working with like artists and in the fashion industry. Is you know, and people book him because he's also good on the other stuff. And, you know, like, I really respect that, and I strive to do the same. So if people ask me, why, Claudia, why don't you quit your job and go do something else? Go, because you're very good at this art thing. And I'm like, why? I want to be able to do both. I actually enjoy doing both, and I actually enjoy having the freedom to, you know, do whatever I want. And maybe this is something that not everybody agrees to, but this is really something that I believe in, and I would fully support anybody that wants to follow this. It's not about limiting yourself to one thing or another. It's about just following your dreams. So this is what this thing represents. I'm shooting always for the moon. My personality is always going to be, and it is, I'm a perfectionist and I'm a stickler to the rules, right? There needs to be some rules of engagement and so on. I always want more. I always want more for myself. I always want more for my art. I always want more for everything I do. And this is how I conduct myself, and I'm hoping that others, you know, I am also inspiring others to continue and to do the same. Right? I don't want to put pressure on anybody. Not everybody needs to do what I do. I mean, I choose what I do because I choose also the sacrifices that come with it to follow both of my dreams. And there may be things that not everybody wants to do because it requires a little bit more. And that is perfectly fine. I'm just saying that you can do the other side of the coin as well. So, don't worry, it's gonna dry out pretty different. So it's gonna be pretty interesting how it's gonna dry out. And we're just very carefully going around the leaves and around everything in here, making sure. I'll go with the white gel pen to fill in those gaps. Maybe I should use some moon glow. Moon glow? No, shadow violet. Shadow violet will be cool to use here. Why not? Okay, so I've always looked up to the stars. You know, like the moon is a representation of what I actually wanted to become initially when I was young. Until about 16 or 17, I actually wanted to become an astronaut. I know, weird dream and weird goal. Like, Claudia wanted to become an astronaut. Yes, I actually even studied for it. But it was not meant to be. And then I switched to software engineering, and it is to this day a very good decision that I've made. So I don't regret any of the decisions that I made. I've done it in full knowledge of what it will bring me. So that's why the moon is there, because I'm always looking up to the moon. I always wanted to be up there with those other scientists doing cool stuff and exploring new worlds. Like, I always admired and watched like Star Trek and Deep Space Nine and all of these cool shows because I actually enjoyed them. And this is always me looking at the moon. And it's funny because a few days ago we were looking, because I couldn't sleep because of the vaccine stuff. And I wasn't sleeping very good, and it was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I was still awake, and I was watching on the window, and then I saw the moon, and the moon was very weird color. It was like very yellow and with streaks of red, and was a full moon as well. Like, I think 2 days ago, or 1 day ago, 2 days ago, something like that. I tried to make a picture. Actually, we do have a picture. I think we managed to make a picture of the moon. So yeah, I'm always in awe about the moon and the universe and everything. It's always like super nice how everything works and how everything is there. So hence why the moon. Now the fishes, they're a very funny story. We used to have this aquarium at work, which I'm going to miss terribly. It was a very big aquarium. It was in the kitchen. We had a kitchen, and we call it the fishes' kitchen because that's where the fishes were. Very funny. We always used to eat there, and there were always a lot of fishes there, but mainly like tropical fishes, tiny fishes, not really like the big ones. And I always enjoyed watching the koi fishes whenever I was going to the Efteling, and I always thought, what if they would bring koi fish and they would have a pond instead of an aquarium at work, because I thought that would be much more exciting than having the tiny other fishes in there, which is, anyway, it's hilarious for me. I don't know for other people. Me complaining about an aquarium not having the right fish is funny. But I always enjoyed there, and it's funny when you have something like this in an office, your mind sometimes gets at ease because you do need a break. You can't, contrary to belief, you can't work continuously. It's not really healthy for your mind to actually go in and work non-stop without breaks. So you need to take breaks, and you should be taking breaks because they're very important. And the funny part about breaks is you should be taking breaks and you should be doing in the break something that is totally different than what you are doing normally at work, because that's the only way your mind can actually take rest. So, majority of the people go in would eat. What we would do is we would have fun with the fishes, which is weird thing to say, or go for a walk along the Amstel. Our office was next to the Amstel, in Amsterdam, and you know, you get to do something totally different than what your normal work life would be. And this is how you basically survive, or you know, your mind resets a bit, and then you get all these new ideas. It's so funny that when you're rested, you get the ideas. Like, I tried to do art in these days when I wasn't very rested. I really tried. Surprise, surprise, nothing really came about. But once I actually rested, new ideas came. I managed to do this one today, very fast actually. I think it took me about an hour to do the drawing. So yeah, being rested is the most important thing of the day. So that's why I put those koi fish, because it's some sort of fish that I always wanted to have in the office, just so that I could, you know, have some fun and think a little bit more about life, the universe, and everything. So yeah, that's the story. The story with me is I'm always looking at the moon, but I also like flowers. I always had flowers. It's a funny thing that we had a very important project to do, and it was one of those projects that is gonna run for a year or more. So we got as a team a bunch of flowers to take care of, and we were calling them our garden, and we were like, we need to take care of those flowers, and those flowers were representative of the project, because as good as we would take care of the flowers in the office, and we would rotate in, you know, watering them, or pruning them, and all sorts of things, like cleaning the earth, the same way we would have the spirit to go and take care of the project that needed to happen. So yeah, that was pretty cool one, to be honest. And that's when I got my love of taking care of flowers. I actually, after that project ended, I actually took, I'm going to have to rotate this, so because it will be easier for me to draw the best. So like this, I'm assuming this will be okay. If you don't see anything, let me know. I need to see the things. Okay, you can see it, you can see it. So I actually took home the flowers after that project ended, and I took care of a lot. So we splitted the flowers, because we also moved offices back then. We splitted the flowers between ourselves, and we took them home, and I had them for years and years and years. And now I'm not allowed to have flowers anymore, or I'm not allowed, I can't have flowers anymore, because my cats tend to eat said flowers, and they're very toxic, especially since there was a lot of succulents. They're very toxic for cats, so I wouldn't recommend having those type of flowers for cats. But you know, for a very long time I had those flowers, and I took care of them, and I love them. So this is where my love for flowers is coming from, and where I'm really, really happy to be able to draw flowers. That's when I actually started drawing lots of the flowers, and I was doing doodling back then. I wasn't very good at more realistic drawings, but I was doing lots of doodling. It was a form of therapy in a way, you know. So pretty neat. I'm being very careful here, because right next to the moon there's really a lot. That's why you need this kind of brush, like the Escoda, that has a really pointy tip, because otherwise you can't do this. And because I'm doing a number 6 here, if you don't have the pointed tip, you're gonna go within the lines, and it's gonna be very difficult. Of course, I could have just taken the time to mask everything up, but I don't particularly like masking that much. It's not I don't believe in it or anything, but I think with a little bit of careful planning, you can get away without masking. And masking can be taking like for hours until it dries completely and so on. So I am not all that in favor of it. Of course, you can do masking whatever you want. I just haven't done it in a very long time. Okay. I'm going around it. The flowers that I chose for myself are the anemones, because they're the flowers that I like a lot to draw. Besides peonies, anemones are some of my favorite ones. And some hellebore and some really nice eucalyptus leaves there. So yeah, pretty much a lot of them. And now I'm just doing the sky, and the sky now this is the first layer. It looks a bit weefy, okay, I give it to you, but when you do a sky like this, and when you do kind of a galaxy kind of style, trust me, it will not look pretty on the first layer, maybe sometimes even on the second layer. Just need to do it, let it dry out. And sometimes you can add some water to make some weird blooming effects, but then it's going to show much nicer when you're gonna add the stars, right? Not now. Now it's not the time. If you're wondering what this is Shadow Violet. It's a really nice violet. It's from Daniel Smith. It's a really nice color. Really liking it. And it pairs very well with the indigo and the dark blue, which is funny because actually indigo, it's a bit darker than the dark blue. It's much more darker. I'm trying really hard to go around the flowers. Yeah. So, oh, hello Marlena, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's really nice to see new people. We are doing the girl looking at the moon. It's gonna make much more sense when we're gonna add all the other colors, okay? And we're gonna add the white dots and, you know, all that stuff, and the greens, and, you know, everything is going to make it pop up. So do not worry. Some people, when they do this kind of big areas, they like to make lots of puddles of ink, and they like to go in a lot of layers, and they do glazing, which I totally commend. In normal circumstances I would do the same, but to be honest, I don't want this one to take me forever. I know for sure it's probably can take me up to 2 to 3 hours to finish, right? And so you're in it for a ride. Like, look at it, it's half an hour and it's already like having issues. But I just put a lot of water in the pen itself, and I'm just taking directly from the pen This ensures it doesn't dry all that weirdly when it will dry, because I know it will dry like very much lighter, but you know, trying to prevent that and to go even more. I'm gonna add a little bit of the perlin here. It blends nicely with the shadow colors, so especially here. Then we're gonna do the flowers and the face and the girl, aka me. The girl is aka me. Yeah. The funny part is that when it is like this wet, the indigo looks really nice and vibrant, but it dries out really muted. So that's why I'm mixing it up with the other blue, because that one dries a bit differently. So that one dries much more vibrant. So, you know, I'm gonna have to let it dry, or maybe I'll zap it with my heat tool to speed up the process, because that's gonna take a while. I think I want to do the moon with the fish first, and then we'll see. The flowers we'll do last. You guys saw me doing flowers a lot, and then I'll do the hair of the girl and so on. So I need to be very careful here, because it's a number 6 brush, and then I'm going very curved lines, under very curved lines, so I don't want to mess up. Like, by the way, the paper is still on the block, because the hahnemuhle comes on a block and it's glued together. I didn't take it off the block, I didn't unglue it yet. I just masked the margins, because I am planning to put this in a frame and gift to myself. Oh, that's so weird when I say it. When I say it out loud, it sounds so weird. And I don't wanna lose any of the painting, so I leave a nice white border. I can ensure I can put it correctly in a frame. I actually framed a lot of things yesterday. I haven't put them yet on the wall, but I framed around 6 or 7 artworks, not from me necessarily. I had some artworks from other artists, and you know, having some fun. Okay. And now let's talk a bit more. Oh, I put my finger in it. See what happens if you're not taking care of it? Okay, if I'm putting my finger on it, I should not be trying to touch anything else. Dun, dun, dun. I'll make sure that the flowers really pop, because they're gonna be really nice colors, like reds and purples and so on, and yellows. So they're gonna be very delicate and nice, and they're gonna stand out against the sky. So no worries there. And then the green of the leaves is gonna be really nice. Trying to do all the spaces in between. Where did I have something left over? I think somewhere around here. Okay, let's do some indigo here. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's darken a bit this indigo here. I don't even know what size it is. It's way bigger than an A4. I don't know. I think it is. I will have to look it up. What size of paper this is. Let's look it up. Give it to Hop and Deed. Oh no. So size is 24 by 32 centimeters or 9.4 by 12 inch. So it's pretty big. It's pretty big. I'm just gonna let it dry like this because this takes some time to dry. I can see that the paper is buckling, so I'm not gonna try to add more color or anything anymore. Okay, so this is the cue. I could zap it with the heat tool right now, but I think I can do some areas that I've done in the beginning, like here or the moon here and this koi fish, and it's not really going to touch any of this area. Then we're gonna do some extra work on the sky, and then we're gonna add all the dots with the white and the white gouache, and that's gonna be nice, right? I'm gonna turn it around again. Okay, that's how it's gonna look like. And so far so good. I think it looks very nice. I think the colors here I got a nice bloom. Actually, it's very funny when you're gonna add the white dots. It's gonna look really nice. Let's think about the moon, and this is where I actually wanted to get the yellows from this set. We're gonna do some yellows. So yellows are quinacridone gold hue and nickel azo yellow. There are these ones here, and then we may go with tundra orange a little bit, okay, because of I wanted to do the moon. So I'm just gonna put these colors here, and what I'm going to do in the future, I know it's a bit weird, but my plan is I'm going to replace some of the yellows on this big palette, lemon yellow and cadmium yellow, because truth be told, I never use them, and I'm gonna put my favorite yellows that I'm actually using. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go around the fishes. So this is gonna be the moon. It's gonna be very yellow, and it's gonna have a lot of more darker spots, don't worry. But for now, I'm just adding water, by the way. I'm not adding any other stuff. Just adding water and moving the color around. This is just the first layer, and okay, I'm adding lots of water. I haven't actually touched the color anymore, you see, so maybe I'll do it here on this side. If you're wondering, I'm having another bucket of water. Like, I've done so much blue with the other water that I don't think we should be touching the blue with the yellow, because then you get green. Don't want that. So I have a new pot of water. Okay, so I'm going to add this. This is the gold hue. It's really nice, and I'm adding it just like what the moon will be like with the craters. Like, I'm adding this structure, and here as well a bit. Yeah. And I'm gonna let it dry, and then we're gonna add some extra layers. Okay, so putting the groundwork for almost everything here. That's the moon. Look how nice and bright it looks, the moon against the dark sky. This is what I meant by it's going to look really nice. Now look at my face, right? My hair is in general pretty red because I dyed red, but my normal hair is actually black, like super jet black. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a nice transient between a really dark red, like the perlin maroon and alizarin crimson, and with a little bit of the black in the hair, and then add depth, right? And this is gonna be the hair. But I wasn't sure if I should do the red in the by the roots and the dark by the ends, or vice versa. So this is where, while I get some water, you guys can tell me which order should it be. And it's not a water, it's actually some cola. So because I talk too much, and I told you guys that my voice is a little bit like iffy. So the koi fish is gonna be also with red and black, so it's gonna be kind of a similar thing as here, as the hair of the girl or of me. It's very hard to call it me because it's like it's the girl. But anyway, any ideas? No? Otherwise I'll make a decision. I'll make an executive decision. I will start at the roots with a really dark red and then go outside with a gray. Okay? So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna use this one anymore because I don't need it, because I have all the reds that I need on this one. Okay? So we're gonna do the Perlin Maroon. It's a really nice one. And I'm gonna really do it here. And then should I do Payne's Gray or Payne's Gray Blue? I think I'm gonna do Payne's Gray because, yeah, that's better. Payne's Gray is better. And welcome for those of you who have joined me. I'm gonna do... You notice this little thing? What I call it is my Superman. This little thing. I modeled it after me. It's so funny that when my hair gets short, it really becomes like super curly. It's weird, I know. And I look like Superman. If you don't know how Superman looks like, he has this little random thing in his hair. We're gonna add depth a bit later on. For now we're doing this. And you're thinking, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? Trust me, it's gonna be fine. In my mind, it looks fine, okay? As in how I imagine it. The reason why I'm a bit scared is, can I actually do what's in my mind on paper? That I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Okay? We will have to see. But maybe we can. Okay? This is gonna be interesting. Because this is Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is almost black, but not black. Okay, so it's gonna look very interesting. That's hair. I got a message that somebody liked my Instagram story where I was saying that I'm going to go on a live stream. I'm hoping they're joining us right now. And I'm hoping nobody gets scared of the hair. Okay? Trust me, it's going to be okay. And we're gonna have more layers coming, but I really had this image in my head where we do this gray with this red thing. I know, it's hard. It's hard marrying what you have in your head with what's on paper. Did you guys saw the trailer for Dune? Now that was a nice trailer. Dune used to be basically my favorite book. I read it many times, and yeah, it's a really nice book. It's actually the first book that I read that was more on the sci-fi, and that's the one that hooked me to the genre. And I read it when I was, I think, 14, 13. I read the Dune saga, and I read the Asimov, The Robots, the Empire, and the Foundation. So very awesome, both of them. Very awesome sagas, I would say. And now they're making a new movie where Jason Momoa is gonna play Duncan Idaho, and anything that Jason Momoa plays is gonna be awesome because, well, let's face it, we all wanna see him. Sorry, honey, I know you're watching. I know you're watching, but this is the reality of this thing. And my husband is now very furious because I mentioned Jason Momoa. I was showing him how to. I was showing him today some of the. Don't know if you guys follow Magnus, the trainer that trains the guys that become superheroes in movies. You know, there was some training there, like how to get a six-pack and so on. I hope he doesn't think that I want him to get a six-pack, because that's not why I was showing him this. But yeah. Anyway, we're waiting for the new Dune movie. I think Stellan Skarsgård is going to do is gonna play Baron Harkonnen from what I saw, so really nice. That means the guy is gonna be pretty evil, because this guy can play a pretty evil guy. So yeah, that's gonna be nice. What other guys? I forgot what the name of the actor that will play Gunny Halleck. I mean, I'm just talking here, assuming that everybody knows about Dune and about the characters, because, well, they're a really big part of me, but I'm not sure if everybody is into that, into the story or anything. But if you're not, don't worry. I'm hoping that you can join the movie when it comes out. I was really into that story back then. It's basically, I used to try to write stories like Frank Herbert and so on, because He's the guy that, so in the beginning I wasn't drawing or anything, but I like to tell stories, and he's the guy that made me wanna tell stories and wanna do a lot of things. He's the guy that made me really, I don't know, push myself in a way to do stories and to have fun. And I was writing stories when I was in high school. I was writing for the school newspaper. I wrote quite a few cool stories. Like one was about the eclipse. You know, in 2001 there was this eclipse, and I wrote a nice story about it, about an archaeologist that opens a tomb exactly on the eclipse, and you know, there's chaos coming out and stuff like that. It was a really nice story. So I was much more into writing sci-fi back then. Maybe I should start writing again. Maybe I'll combine it with some of the coloring. Funny. Okay. I also still have that part, so don't worry. I haven't forgotten about that part. And then we're gonna just do lots of fun stuff. And what else did I see? What other interesting stuff did I see? I watched Sweet Tooth. Don't know if you guys watched it. No spoilers, but I really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting that. It's so fun. To be honest, I don't know what I was expecting, but definitely not so much fun as it had. You know, Sweet Tooth has this vibe of Sailor Moon, and you know, I've always been a Sailor Moon fan. Maybe that's why I'm drawing so much moons and stuff. In Sailor Moon, in the original series, not the new series that they come up with, because the new series is much more darker. But in the original series, there's this, like Sailor Moon has this optimism. She never gives up. She never gives up trusting in people, even on the worst people, like even on the worst enemies. She still trusts that they can be good, you know. Which is kind of the vibe I got from Sweet Tooth. It's the same vibe. It's kind of this kid has this optimism in himself that, you know, good things will happen always, and you know, good will prevail. And maybe it was because of how he was raised, or I don't know. I forgot a little bit of blue here. But man, the Sweet Tooth gave me the old Sailor Moon vibe from when I was like young and restless and all of that stuff. Yeah, this really looks nice. I really need to be careful where I put my fingers, because I might actually make things really bad if I'm not careful. We're gonna have second layers, third layers, and you know, doing stuff here, but it's okay. Now, okay, Johan is laughing. Are you laughing at what I'm doing here, or what are you laughing at? Don't laugh. It's not fun. I think I need a little bit of brown, don't you think? Yeah, some brown. Needs a bit of brown. Brown for the moon, I know, weird, but it works. It's a full moon. I wanna make sure that we make the edges super. I don't like hard edges, so that's why. Okay. Okay, and then I'm gonna use some more of the hue. Replacing me with Jason Momoa, laughing about that. Ah, okay. Fine. Forget I said that. Wasn't intentional, man, but, you know. Still. I'm pretty sure you like him also. It's not only me, right? Okay, in a fight, Jason Momoa versus Henry Cavill. Cavill. I'm just trying to figure out how to pronounce his name. Cavill? Cavill. Cavill. Okay. Who would win? Is it The Witcher? Or is it Jason? Yeah, it would be funny if they watching me and then they go and they fight it out, huh? That's gonna be super fun. Okay. Dum. Okay. We're pretty okay. We're pretty far, I would say. I cannot wait to do the nice flowers. It's gonna be really fun. I'm gonna do the craters with some black and some stuff, right? I'm just letting things dry out because I need to see. If you don't let things dry out, I mean, the part where, you know, the colors might get these blooming effects or something, that part you can fix, right? So what I normally do is, and the reason why I'm waiting for things to dry out, it's not that, is I'm waiting for things to dry out to see how light the colors look like, right? So no, this is not dry out yet, so we're gonna add way more red and way more fun stuff here. Now because the moon is still drying out, I'm not daring to do the fishes yet. What do you guys say if we do some of the leaves and some of the stuff, huh? Let's try that. What I'm noticing now is I used way too much color and my waters are both a little bit dirty, so I need a pot of a new water, but I don't have my normal one where I throw my water away, so my apologies that I'm doing this during a live stream, but I have one of these. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I will ask you later on if you can bring me some water, yeah? I'm asking my husband if he can bring me some water, but I have a new water jug here. That is because I'm going to use some more greens and some more lighter colors, and I just really don't want to mess things up. Okay. Let's do the leaves first. I'm gonna try a number 5. Let's see how that goes. I'm going to do some really nice leaves. Majority of these leaves we're gonna start doing with the rich green gold, and then we're gonna do some undersea green. Okay. So, Johan, what am I allowed to say about the collaboration that we're gonna do? Because we're gonna do a collaboration. Me and Johan, we're gonna collaborate on some pieces. But do you want me to tell about it, or do you want me to keep it a secret for now? It's most probably going to be also onto the next week live stream, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Maybe I should have tried this brush before, because now I'm realizing that the brush holds way too much water than I was expecting. But it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Okay, the eucalyptus, we're gonna do it as the eucalyptus, okay? It's gonna be with greens and cerulean and viridian and cobalt turquoise, okay? Because that's what normally those ones are. I'm gonna take a bit of the undersea green, and we're gonna do some darker shades here and there. I'm gonna let it just spread around on its own. Or should I? The problem with this brush is it holds a lot of water. I think this will be a perfect brush for wet on wet techniques, but not a perfect brush for this. But anyway. Still okay. What you're hearing is this new water jug I have is glass, and then you're gonna hear the glass thing go crazy. So don't stress. It's 8 o'clock. Okay. Those are nice. Man, I like her hair. It's gonna be fun. Let's do the upper ones as well. Okay, now I can actually put my finger here, and it's dry. So the sky is officially dry. It took about half an hour, huh? It took about half an hour to dry. It's quite a long time, man. I would say quite a long time. Okay, so we were talking before about having 2 dreams or 3 dreams or whatever you wanted to achieve. So I've often encountered this weird, I'm not gonna say double standard, but like people believe that you cannot be successful in multiple things at once, that you can only do one thing. And then they really, oh my goodness, what did I do? I made a mess, okay? Guys, don't stress. I made a mess. I just put my fingers in the flowers. And it so happens that my hand is now green. Don't know if you're seeing what I'm doing here, but I'm trying to clean my hand. Okay, never mind. We'll try to really go above. Do not touch the flowers with the green. Okay. And I noticed that people start going like, yeah, but you're never gonna be able to leave out to leave from your art, or you're never gonna gain as much money as from your other job. You know, they in a way they're naysayers, or in a way they're trying to make you fail, but without realizing they think they're doing you a favor. Okay, this is what they think. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that I need to be as successful, or I don't compare the two jobs or the two careers as equal, and I don't do them for the same reasons, right? There are different reasons why I do software engineering than why I do art. And that means that I have different goals, and that means my goals for my software engineering career are quite different than my goals for, let's say, my art career. And that means that I don't have to have exactly the same success or exactly the same thing. I think having a very clear goal of where you want to be is going to be very helpful. And remember that it doesn't have to be an equivalent exchange, one versus the other, or something like that. Why not have both cakes and eat them and be happy about it, right? I just don't understand why people would think that that's okay to, you know, make fun of somebody's dreams and say, well, you can't have two dreams, you can't have three dreams, you can't have two things that you're good at. Sure you can. It depends on how much time and effort you're willing to spend on both. I think we can do anything that we set our minds to, and I'm not gonna take no, or I'm not gonna make a compromise out of it. But yeah, trust me when I say that you can do it. So is my goal to be rich out of art? No, my goal is to tell my stories. My goal is to help other people dream about what I do and inspire. That's my goal. And, you know, I'm just going to be successful at that. Is my goal to pay my bills out of my other job, my software engineering? Yes. Is my goal to create cool stuff that users are going to use and I'm going to be very proud of, because many users are going to use the stuff that I'm building? Definitely. I want to be proud of what I'm building, right? And I'm not going to build something that nobody uses, but that's a different type of goal, right? And I'm inspiring people in a different way there. It doesn't mean that I have to give it up or not, right? Maybe in the future I'll be so good at it that I'll even become an astronaut. Why not? But the funny part was this. You know why I didn't become an astronaut is that as a software engineer, you need at least a degree in something like physics or chemistry or anything, because in space they put you to actually do all sorts of experiments. So, you know, there are people on Earth, they want to do experiments in space, but they can't go there, so they need an astronaut. That's why they need astronauts to go in space and to do all these experiments in space that otherwise people on Earth couldn't possibly do. And you need to have this expertise in either biology or physics or stuff to be able to conduct these experiments. So me, with my software engineering background, why would they send me to space? What am I going to do? Program it to oblivion? Makes no sense, right? I need to know how to do things like biology and physics in space and other stuff. Software engineering is pretty much useless skill in space because you can basically do it anywhere anyway, right? So with just software engineering, you're never gonna just be an astronaut. It's a bit weird, but not that weird in a way if you think about it. So that's how things go. So I just didn't want to. What was happening is I had to choose, to go physics or to go informatics. And when I had to choose that, and they were like, yeah, if you really want to become an astronaut, you have to choose for physics. I was like, I like physics, but I don't like it that much. So I just chose a different subject. I just went with software engineering, and no regrets there. It's been fun, but maybe in the future, when things are a bit differently. I did see the SpaceX and Jeff Bezos, they went to space in their commercial kind of flights. So maybe I'll just go when I am older and it becomes more affordable for the rest of us humans. Not for the billionaires only, but for the rest of us humans. Then it will be fun. And maybe I'll be in space, and then I'll touch the moon. Like this moon. It's gonna be fun. Why not? Okay. I'm gonna use Viridian to do some of these ones. It's a really nice green blue Viridian, by the way. So Viridian is from, if I'm not mistaken, Daniel Smith, but almost any brand has it in a shape or form. Some brands call it cobalt green. Some brands call it Viridian, like this one, right? It really depends, but it's just a blue-green. I think I saw some other brands maybe call it peacock green or something like that, because it looks like a peacock. Okay. Ooh, my neighbor is making. I have my window open, and my neighbor is making something. I think it smells like cheese pie or something like that. Don't know. Something with cheese. Definitely something with cheese. And they're just cooking right now. Oh. And now my house is just right next to their kitchen, so I can smell everything that they're cooking. Sometimes I'm surprised they're cooking. By the smell, they're cooking something really delicious. Now, I never actually tasted my neighbor's food, so no idea. But yeah, we'll see. We also have new neighbors on the other side of our home. They just moved in. Well, at least they were checking out the home when they moved in. So I guess I'm going to have to meet the new neighbors and say hi to them. Yes, I'm a friendly neighborhood person. Come on. What did you expect? I hope he didn't think I wasn't friendly. Dum 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 dum. I wish I could sing, and then at least I could entertain people here. I was watching this weird live streaming thing with the Chinese live streamers. Ooh. They are basically locked in a room the whole day. They're live streaming the whole day. They always have somebody, they come with them. They live streaming on the outside. They're singing. They're having so many live streams every day, and they're doing social media. It's like a 24/7 job. They actually sleep in the room where they live stream. Bit creepy, I would say. But if you want to become a successful live streamer, I think that's what you need to do. You need to really put the time and energy in it. And portray yourself as that, to have that lifestyle and that live streaming thing. Okay, I'm going to use for the other one cobalt turquoise. So it's a turquoise, right? Not a green turquoise, but a cobalt turquoise. So we're going to use that one for the other leaves. And this is much more opaque than the other ones, but once we're going to add water, it's going to be fine. I'm just adding the color in because I have it on my brush. Did you see what I did there? You need to be very quick with absorbing it, and then it will be fine. Okay. Always have a paper towel. People, paper towels are important. So, Johan said, everything. I can say about everything. Okay. So, me and Johan are working on a new drawing. It's going to involve a robot, and it's going to involve flowers. Remember, we were joking last stream, I think last stream it was, that we were joking about, who would be better at robots or making a robot flower or something like that. Anyway, it was a joke. But then we actually decided that we're gonna work together. We're gonna bring a robot with flowers together. So the idea of the robot is it's a really old robot. It's broken down, and the robot broke down somewhere in a forest long ago, and there's a lot of flowers and everything growing around him. He's a bit rusty, not being able to move anymore, right? He only has power just to watch around. So that's the story of the robot. So we're gonna have a robot and lots of trees and flowers and stuff around. It's gonna be fun. And then we're gonna probably do some other, I want to do definitely some more robot series, so that's going to be nice. I'm adding the viridian also here onto this one. Okay. Adding a bit of dark blue to the leaves, just to darken them a bit. And just gonna bring them closer to the sky, but that's okay. We had this idea that we're gonna create this world where robots and magic live together. I'm not sure how we're gonna create it, but initially that was our idea, and I'm going to write the stories for it because I told you before, I like to write stories and I like to make up things. So that was one of the things that I wanted to be able to do. So hence why we're collaborating. Why am I collaborating with him? Because Johan is very good at robots, let's put it this way. He's my husband and I want to do stuff together with him. So we're gonna just have some fun together. we also decided we're gonna give a try to Final Fantasy because I was watching some videos and I need to drink some more water again. But you know, we're gonna get cracking with the rest. Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna use, I'm not sure if I should use Jaune Brilliant or Naples Yellow for the fishes. Let's see. The fishes have different spots, okay, and the spots they're gonna have is gonna be also with red. And it's gonna morph into the yellow. I'm gonna leave a lot of the parts white from the fishes because I think it creates really stark thing. Yeah, that's okay. So what am I using? Jaune Brilliant Yellow. Jaune Brilliant. It's gonna be fun. There are different ways of doing these fishes, and there are so many different ways that I cannot even begin to express them. But yeah. I like this combination. I'm gonna add, of course, second layer, but still, this looks nice. I'm trying not to have hard edges, so I'm trying really hard to do some stuff. Okay, that's one of them. And then we're gonna do the other one. Really trying not to. My arm is really like green, blue, all the colors. Okay. And the red I'm using is the Berlin Maroon because I really like Berlin Maroon. So, yeah. You guys remember that I did another collaboration with Johan, which was with Max, the guy with the sword. A piece called The In-Between, because he was in the in-between. Max is also part of that universe that we're trying to create together with robots and so on. So, yeah. We are working, slowly working into making that universe a reality. The funny part is that we have so much different, how do you call, different styles, like also on faces and on everything. We had different styles, so it's gonna be pretty fun to see how we can combine them. I'm trying to mix there the colors. We saw lots of koi fish when we went on our vacation, because we've been to the Efteling, and the Efteling has a lot of koi fish in its ponds. It's actually pretty nice. It's like a heaven for them. So that's where I got the inspiration for the koi fish, because it's really nice. I think they have also some darker spots, like some black here and there. So we can add some black here and there. It's pretty random, the black. Okay. Looks a bit more like the hair, right? Okay, now let's go back to the hair, shall we? We have the alizarin, we have the Perlin maroon, and then I want some alizarin crimson. That's a much more purplish one. Okay. Down, down, down. I'm gonna try to pull the color and to make sure that the color is being spread around correctly. Yeah. That's where you get, on the corners you get a lot of this. Let's see if I can pull this color with, yeah, I can. Okay, good. Nice. And then we're gonna do some more darker. And mixing the dark with the red, just to create a darker presence. After I do this second layer, we're gonna do some good lines and stuff, but yeah. Okay, that's good. And now let's do some of the gray. I think this type of mix and matching is one of the hardest I have to do, because the hair doesn't have very predefined things. You can say hair or anything. So yeah. That was one, that was two. Actually, I'm thinking maybe on this one needs to be completely red, this part. Yeah, I want it to be completely red. And then the black will come from down from here. Yep. what I want. You notice that I'm on purpose leaving the flowers out. I will do them at the end, and I'm not sure if we're gonna still be during a live stream or not, but maybe we will, you know. But let's do the hair and the other parts, okay? One strand, second strand, third strand. So I really need to make sure I don't touch anything else. And then we're adding Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is really nice. Look how pointed this brush is. It's so amazing. I can really go from this side here with just one stroke. It's amazing. Okay. Okay. I'll probably do this more black. Yeah. Some things will be darker, some things will be lighter. Okay. Okay. Dum, dum, dum. I just feel the need of some music, man. Oh, this YouTube thingy with music and copyright and all of that stuff. You can't have a live stream where you just listen to your normal music, because then it becomes copyrighted. So annoying. Okay. I'm adding red here and red on this strand here, and then I'll continue with some red on this other strand. And then we can add the black. Okay. We have maybe some different blacks here. Some more black here. I'm trying to follow the curves of the hair. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm paying very much attention to how the hair goes and trying to follow some curves. Maybe I'm not always successful, but at least this is what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna do some more strands here. With the Payne's gray. When I was at the art shop, I saw that they had a Daniel Smith set with all sorts of grays from this very famous artist. Like all the grays that this artist is using, very different grays than what I'm using here, but on the same time pretty amazing. But yeah, sometimes you have to make decisions about what you're gonna buy, and that was not the one thing that I bought because I thought I have enough grays. Claudia, don't stress. So weird. You always want to buy stuff when you see it. I'm pretty sure you all had that feeling. I at least had it many times. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Should I tell you guys how much I spent there? I spent a lot of money there. Not as much as I thought it was gonna be, which is funny. But I did spend a lot of money. I couldn't resist and I bought yet another arches paper. Just a little bit bigger pack. Not that I don't have enough arches. I have lots of arches, tons of arches, but for some reason every time I'm in a shop I just can't stop buying arches. Just, it's in my DNA. I'm like, what if I'm left without arches? What if I don't have enough arches to do stuff? So yeah, I bought some more arches. I also bought some Fabriano and some other brands. I also bought some nice artist gouache, like designer gouache. I only bought like the 6 color pack because, to be honest, they were quite expensive and I want to learn how to make my own colors in gouache. So yeah, that's what I do. Okay. Now, you guys know that the eyebrows are kind of similar, but not quite to what we have on the hair. So if the hair is red and black, we're gonna do red and black for the eyebrows. Okay. And I'm assuming that the lips are going to be the same, similar. Lips are going to be pretty red. Yep. She has this Marilyn Monroe vibe for some reason. Don't know why. I can't escape the vibe. But yeah, she has this weird Marilyn Monroe vibe. Okay. So, now, what do you guys think we should start with? Is it the flowers or is it something else? Should I start adding details into the sky or not? Or details into the fish and the moon and so on? What do you guys think? I'm trying to add some more details there and here and there. Dun, dun, dun. And now. I'm really happy with how the hair turned out for some reason. Don't know why. Maybe I was not expecting it to go so good for some reason. I think because I want the flowers to be delicate, I think I'll use the graphite tint set. So this is my graphite tint set, okay? And we're gonna make sure that the flowers are pretty nice and they need to be very, how do we call them? Oh, cheers. My Happy is awake and he's sneezing. So we're gonna add a little bit of color and then we're gonna pull it. Oh yeah, I was watching a video. I don't know what you guys think. There was this video from one of the crafter people I'm following. And they were like, stop wasting paint, basically. Saying that we should always use 2 brushes because, you know, now I'm technically wasting paint because I'm not using all the paint and then I'm always doing my brush, cleaning my brush, so I'm wasting a lot of paint. So if I would have 2 brushes, apparently, according to them, I would stop wasting paint. And I'm like, first of all, I have so much paint. It's very unlikely that I'm going to finish it anytime soon. Maybe, and I'm not positive on how much paint could you possibly actually save by doing this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Can you actually save, if you would use 2 brushes, can you actually save a lot of paint, and would that actually make any difference to the overall pieces or anything? What do you guys think? Should you care or should you not care? I'm really trying to make it as light as possible, and probably I'll just go with some pieces of paper and I'll just going to pull some of the paint away because I made them way too dark, but it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So always use your tissue paper to blot out stuff, okay? Yeah, if I'm thinking, would I actually gain a lot? I don't think so, because I'm very careful with my paints usually, and even if I take a lot more paint, I usually do multiple petals at once, and then I come in with the water and I spread it around. So I don't think I'm wasting that much color, to be honest, me personally, but maybe there are other people that are doing this. Could be. Okay, that one is gonna be with the yellow and a little bit of red. Yeah, yellow is nice. Red is called, I think, autumn brown on this set. By the way, I bought the graphite pencils actually on my last trip, and I tried them out, and I thought they're gonna, because they are water soluble, right, like pretty much like this paint, and I tried it, but it does not work on cold press watercolor paper or rough watercolor paper, because it just leaves too many marks, too much graphite marks. It's very unsettling. So I think that part only works on very smooth watercolor paper. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I maybe wanna add some smidges of yellow in the hair, but I'll think about it. I'm being very careful here because these are all the pistils of the flower and I want them to remain white. So I'm trying very hard to not let anything come there in between. This is where this very pointed brush helps, because to be honest, then I can go into very small spaces and I can go around them. But you do have to keep the brush at an angle. To be honest, this is what I found that works the best. And you just have to go with it. Okay. I promised in the beginning I will say what happened to my finger and why is my finger injured. That's because I fed my cat, and I know it looks like, what? You fed your cat? Yes. They have these special foods that is in a package that you have to basically squeeze a bit. And that didn't really go as planned because I did it too fast. And then it was basically that metal thing kind of screwed up my my plans. Okay, this one is gonna be pink. And it's gonna be similar colors on the other one. Okay, it's gonna be pink with maybe some yellow. Yeah, pink and yellow, that's gonna be nice. Yeah. Dum dum dum. Yep. I wondered if I'm going to do like I need to come up with pretty much lots of subjects if I want to do that 12-hour live stream that I was planning with the cards, because what subjects would you do in a 12-hour live stream, to be honest? You have to prepare in advance. You can't just do it like this. It has to be something a little bit more prepared, I would say. I mean, I know I'm a nice nice lady, but yeah. I'm doing really light version of that pink in the middle. Maybe we can do a reading of the... Am I allowed to do a reading of a book live? That's the question. Ooh, that would be an interesting question to have. If I'm allowed to do a reading of a book live. Okay. Uh-oh. Nobody's telling me that I made a boo-boo here. Made a mistake. Okay. Yeah, these three ones are gonna have basically the same colors as here. Just in a different different combination maybe. So let's do this. Notice how I am not wasting the color because I'm utilizing all the color that I have on my brush before I come in with water and pull it. So, and then I'm going to come with the yellow at the end and I'm going to introduce it, but that's going to be fine. That yellow there next to the green looks more like green than yellow, but that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna do some more. And it's gonna be paler and paler and paler. It's gonna be very nice. Oh yeah, I was asked by my new job to write a paragraph about me where they're gonna send it around when I'm joining. And that kind of freaked me out because I'm like, what do I say about me? Do I say I do watercolor? Do I not say I do watercolor? It's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. It's gonna freak me out the entire next week because I'm going to have to write it down. And yeah. What do you guys think? What should be my description about myself? Hi, I'm just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Spider thingy. I like to play the... I like to play the hero sometimes. No, I can't. I have to say something more businessy. Businessy. How you present yourself to a first... to some first colleagues is very important. It will set the tone for the entire thing. So yeah, no wonder I'm freaking out a little bit right now. Okay, Tam tam tam. I'm almost wanna leave the face white. I don't know why, but I almost wanna leave the face white. Okay, let's do the next. The next one is gonna be more purplish. I'm adding to all the petals the purple. Then I'm gonna come with water and I'm going to pull the purple. And then we're gonna do pink at the tips, which is fine. I'm gonna do again water, even more diluted, because it needs to be even more diluted. And then we're gonna do with the pink on the tops. You know why I wanna do the face white? Because I'm scared I'm gonna ruin the entire thing. Can notice how confident I am of doing faces. Maybe I should have started with that one, because if I would have done it wrong, at least I didn't have to continue anymore. Okay. And then this one is gonna be with the yellow. This one is gonna be with the yellow. It's gonna have lots of yellow. And I forgot a leaf there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I forgot a leaf. I thought it was a petal, but it's actually a leaf. It's okay. I should have done a color composition first. You know what I'm noticing now that I'm doing all of this? Is that this particular one really feels out of place. It's just something that I'm noticing, and it's okay. I mean, not everything needs to be perfect. But I should have thought about it more. I shouldn't have hurried to make that one like that. It's okay. I can still fix it. I can still make the leaves to look different shade of green later on, because I can add extra. So, but I'm just noticing that there's lots of nice colors here, but this is really the only odd one out. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's do the leaf. Let's see. Yeah. I can do some glazing and then it will save it. And it will bring it more in line with what the other leaves are. The problem with this one, it's way too out of place. And that's okay. You can leave the face white and you could add shadows. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could just add the shadows, right? You see how now this one becomes a little bit closer to this. It's just because I did some glazing here. I wasn't very happy with that eucalyptus. And that's fine. But yeah. doesn't look so much out of place anymore, because I use the exact same colors on the upper leaves, on the down leaves, so now it will look very similar. Make it more cohesive. I'll consider the face after the live stream, because I need to think about it. The face, I don't want to, I don't want to screw it up. So I'll add all the details and all the dots and so on. And by the way, the middles, I think the middles of some flowers needs to be really dark red. And I'll think about it, and then you guys can follow me on Instagram to see the finished piece, okay? Because I'll post it there once I finalize it, and I'll consider how I do the face. So like Johan is saying, we could always do the face as just shadows with gray, or we can do a real face, right? So that could be. I'm preparing to bring my white right now. So anemones have really dark centers, so that's why I'm doing them with red. So yeah. If you're wondering why so dark, actually anemones centers are always dark, like super dark, super, sometimes too dark, I would say. So if I made these ones with red, then at least they look like all the other ones. That's okay. Okay, nice. Now let's start adding some details, man. Some details. So now, what should I do? Should I do white gel pen? Should I do white gel pen, or should I? Well, I think I need some black pen as well, a very thick one. So let's do black pen. I'll add dots. Let's do white gel pen for the stars. Yep. And I'm really thinking I need gouache for all of these ones. Yep, I have white gouache here. This is white gouache. This is from Holbein, okay? So we're gonna add some white gouache. How are you guys holding up? Like, I'm always saying that this kind of illustrations, because they're so big, they take a long time. So don't ever think that somehow you can cheat yourself out of it and make it super fast. You can't, not with watercolor. Maybe with acrylic, or maybe with gouache. Yeah, maybe that will be, but I don't know. I'm adding some dots here and there. I like dots on the moon. It brings it together, especially on things where there's where things touch. There's some craters around, some other things. Okay, there's maybe some dots on this one. Okay. And now let's do the white gel pen. White gel pen. There's stars everywhere, right? This is what I'm doing, and there's sometimes bigger stars, but majority of the times they're very tiny stars. I don't like to do the splatter because that makes everything just weird. So I'm just doing it like this. Secretly, what I want to do is I want to ask Johan how to do the shadows. So if you're wondering why am I not doing the shadows right now, it's probably because I want to ask somebody else what will be the best shadows to add, because I'm really bad at shadows. So I'm really hoping okay. That's my secret, huh? My secret weapon is asking Johan, hey hun, how do I do these shadows? It already looks, it brightens so much up by just adding a few of the stars and just ties everything together. I don't know, just so pretty. If this would have been for a colleague, I usually in the past I would have had only a few hours to do it, like 4 hours or something, and now I can take some time. I'm trying to see if I can add some smudges. It's not gonna have everywhere, right? It's gonna be just some streams of stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That is done, and now we're gonna go with gouache. Johan is not sure if he can tell it by typing. No, I don't think you can, huh? I think you need to show me. And then next time I'll know and I can tell everybody how to do it. And then I'll look like the expert that can do shadows or something. Can I look like an expert? Yeah, I can look like an expert. Okay. I'm adding lots of the dots here with gouache because gouache, it stands out more than normal gel pen. So I can add some different stuff here and there. maybe even a bigger star or not. Yeah. Okay. And then we're gonna add some different dots for the flowers. Why not? The flowers needs to have a dot or two. And then the leaves also. Dum dum dum. I wonder if it's because I slept. I have so many more ideas right now. Maybe because I slept indeed. Just like trying to figure out why I want to create so much more now. It's really, sleeping is really important, I guess. Okay. So, let's try some leaves. And some leaves here. Maybe I should sleep more. Okay. I think for now this is okay. I want to really take my time for the face because that's more important for me. I'm glad that I fixed this one because I brought it much more in line with the other colors. The flowers are nice. Even these ones, even the fishes are really nice, and the moon really awesome. So I think all in all, it turned out really nice. I like the hair. I wish I had this red hair. I don't, but okay. Maybe in the future I will. Who knows? Like a banshee hair, you know, like this. This is, I think it turned out really nice so far. And I'm going to do the face and then I'm going to post it on Instagram. But thank you so much. I know it's been almost 2 hours and a little bit. It's a long stream. Thank you all for watching and thank you for staying with me. I'm just gonna close the stream. I don't have clean water anymore with me, so I really need somehow to make clean water happen. So and my voice is starting to give up, so I'm not going to continue. But thank you again. Thanks for joining. It's been fun. It's been like I am making my own piece, my own art piece for living. It's weird, but it needs to happen. Maybe getting closure in a way, you know. Yeah, this is like that. Nice until now. Thank you. Bye Marlena, bye Johan, bye everybody else that is joining us, and hope to see you guys next time.